This beautiful beaded bracelet made in flat herringbone stitch is the star of today's tutorial. Easy to make, fast as well. Here you have just 2 more reasons to keep watching. For today's bracelet, we are going to use 11/0 seed beads, 15/0 seed beads. For the beads that are going to be inserted in the band, I'm going to use 4mm pearls, and for the clasp, a magnetic 3 strands clasp. The structure of the bracelet is as follows. So here we have a flat band made with herringbone stitches. Then we insert in the work the beads with increase, beads decrease. Then again a segment of plain herringbone, again the bead with increase, bead increase, the flat plain segment, increase, bead decrease, and then again the plain herringbone band. As for the measurements, we have as follows. So here we have 6 and nearly 3/4 in length. Out of this, 1/2 inch is the clasp. So this leaves us with about 6 and 1/4, but let's go with 6 inches of beading bracelet. And I have divided it by 2 inches, 2 inches, and 2 inches. So when we start our herringbone band, we start with a stack of 4, and we continue like that in a plain herringbone flat stitch for 32 rows. Then we have the increase, 1 row 15/0 in between, the second row 2 15/0 in between, the third 3. Then we insert the bead, and then 3 2 1. After that we continue for 6 rows with plain herringbone, and then for the next bead again we increase 1 2 3, the bead decrease 3 2 1, again 6 rows. The work for the third bead, increase, bead decrease, and then again 32 rows of plain herringbone. After we have this done, we proceed to embellish with kind of a faux bezel every bead that we have inserted in the base band. So let's start our base herringbone flat band. I have another tutorial that shows you in more depth how to make this band, and now quickly we just set up the base out of 8 beads. So we start with 2 and then we add up to 8. Here we have 4. We pick up another one. 5. 6. 7. And 8. So here we have our base line, base row. And now with the thread coming out of this bead, we pick up 2 seed beads, go down through the next one, go back up through the next seed bead, pick up 2, go down through the next one, go up, pick up 2 again, go down through the next one, go back up, and now pick up 2 and go back down through the last seed bead. And here we have to move the thread back up here, so we go up through the bead at the bottom, and then we move the thread to the right and go up through the last bead in the row. And now we turn over and we continue with the next row. So pick up 2, go back down through the next, go back up through the bead from the next stack, go down, And here we have the last stitch of the row. Pick up 2, go down through the last one. Now I turn over the work. I go into the bead next to the one where the thread comes out, and then with the thread to the right over the last bead from the row, we just go up. So this is how we move our thread up at the end of the row. And this is how it looks like. Let's make another one together. So down, up, pick up 2, go down, pick up 2, go down, and the last one. Down, up, so we can move the thread here, and we continue with the next row. For our bracelet, we continue until we can count on the side 32 beads stacked one on top of the other. Now let me show you how we increase to insert one of our 4mm pearls. So pick up 2, go back up, 2 down, and here we are in the middle of the band. On our way up, before we get into the next bead, we just pick up 1 15-0. And this 15-0, then 2 15-0s, 3 15-0s, they will create the space needed for our pearl. Now we continue with our herringbone. Here at the end of the row, go down, up, and up again. Now we have the row with the second increase. We stitch the herringbone for the first 2 stacks, and now here we add in between the stacks 2 15-0s. And we finish the herringbone stitch of the row. At the end of the row, down, up, the next one, to the right and up through the last bead. And now we add the third increase row, and we pick up 3 15 O's, go up the next stack of 11 O herringbone and finish the stitch of the row. Down, up, to the right and up. And now we check and see if it's enough for our bead. Obviously you can use bigger beads than the 4mm ones. If you use a bigger one, you just need to add maybe more rows of increase with 15 O's that allows the bead to sit flat here. So this will be the row where we insert our pearl. So instead of 15 O, we just pick up the pearl. And finish the herringbone stitch. Down, up, and to the right. So again, the normal. Herringbone. One row we can continue just like this, going through the bead again, so we create enough space for the bead. So the row after we add the bead will be a row of going through the bead. And now we start the row with the 15 O's for the decrease. If we would have added the 15 O's in the previous row, would have been too squashed. 1, 2, 3 15 O's. And now we decrease to 2 beads. And here we have the row with only one 15-0 in the middle. Okay, and here we have just a plain normal row of herringbone stitch. Now for our bracelet we continue with 6 plain rows, and then we repeat the same sequence for the second bead, 6 plain rows, and then we repeat this sequence for the third one. When we have finished and we are in this step after the third one, we just continue with 32 more rows of plain herringbone band, and this is how we create the base band for this bracelet. Now let me show you how we embellish the beads. So just move the thread or make another thread, and we need to come out of one of the middle beads of 3. So let's go out of this one. Okay, and we add on top of it one bead like this, and then we do the same thing on the other side. And now we add some beads around, using these 2 beads as anchoring points. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and let's see if it's enough, if it covers the pearl. And now we pick up again 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's see. No, it doesn't seem to be enough. So let's add 4, 5, 6. So we have 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and go through the other anchoring bead. Yeah, this one is more like it, much better. And now we reinforce by going back again through the same beads. And now, coming out of one of the 11 O's, we add 1, 2, 3. We skip 1 and go through the next one. One, 2, 3. Skip 1, go through the next one. One, 2, 3. Skip 1 and go through the next one. One, 2, and 3. One, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. And now we go up the first loop of 2. And this is our, let's say, top flower as an embellishment for our pearl. To attach the clasp, because we have 4 stacks, we actually have 3 spaces in between the stacks, and those would be the spaces that I will use as attachment. So I move the thread out of 1, 2, so the second stack, considering that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So 1, 2, the thread comes out from the second, goes the needle through the first loop of the clasp, and then use stack 2 and 3 to connect with this loop. After I've been 2 or 3 times, as much as you want, we move to the next stack where we can go under and we catch the loop. So we go under, catch the loop, and then on top. Under, through the bead of the herringbone stitch on top, and we reinforce a few times, and then we move to the last one. Under the loop, and then on top. And through the last stack. Under. And over. And when you are happy, you just weave in the thread, and here we have our clasp attached. The same thing on the other side, and your clasp will look in the end like this. I believe that using only thread without any other beads in between makes the connection very safe and sturdy. So this is our tutorial for today. I hope you like it, and believe it or not, is a very fast bracelet to bead. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and leave comments or questions, and see you with the next tutorial. Ciao ciao.